Hey guys, it's 21 Maxwell here and welcome to another edition of WWE Updates. Today, this pay-per-view is in one of the most vicious concept matches that WWE has, the Hell in the Cell. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of events being named after particular matches, but in this instance I felt like with it coming round we had a chance to create a brand new type of match within the Hell in a Cell structure, and we do have a feud that I feel probably deserves that kind of match up within that structure. A really heated rivalry with two guys who properly hate each other. So I'll keep it just now. It may disappear next year, but we're quite happy to keep it for the foreseeable future. Might go next year, might change up the pay-per-view type situation next year, with the idea that I'm looking to use this stint between early October all the way through to Survivor Series to maybe bring in some kind of tournaments. I'm looking to bring hopefully a Cruiserweight Classic within the next month. Some sort of tag team tournament as well, maybe a Dusty Rhodes Classic on the main roster, maybe even some sort of women's tournament as well. So hopefully we can look forward to that on the road to Survivor Series. But until then, as of course our Raw exclusive pay-per-view, I hope you guys enjoy it. We are in Hawaii for this one, and we've got 31 segments taking up nearly 5.5 hours of television. So I think in real life this would drive us all insane. Hopefully you guys enjoy our TW presentation. Let's go. So we start the show basically with a hype promo with the four men that are going to be competing in the main event for the WWE Championship. The champion, Braun Strowman. The Money in the Bank holder is getting an opportunity tonight, that is Baron Corbin. John Cena seeks to make history as he chases his 17th world title. And we've got the Swiss Superman battling through injury to get his final chance at the championship. So A-Star 100 as these guys plead their cases. Cena was the star in the segment. He got the show off to a strong start. Got the crowd hotter. Cena was doing well off script. Strowman, Braun Strowman and Corbin both struggled a little bit. Like I struggled there to get my words out, but good start to the show and gets us ready for what should hopefully be a blockbuster main event match. So we start off with a promo from Bo Dallas. He's come out saying he no longer needs Mojo Rawley. Mojo Bojo is no more. Bo Dallas is basically on a road to stardom. This is time for his Bo Evolution, and he just slags off his former partner with an A92. Outstanding promo. The angle got the crowd hotter again, and the performance of Bo Dallas was good. Only negative was it being short, but it was a decent promo from Bo, and it leads us into our opening contest, which had a decent matchup, and it saw Bo defeat Mojo Rawley in 12:56 with the spear. This was a B78. Both men don't seem to click, the former tag team partners, but we do have to end the feud between them. We do have to give them that blow-off match on pay-per-view, so Bo picks up the win. Much better performance from him. Their storyline continues, but that will probably be the end of the feud for now. Bo Dallas is improving in Rumble skills. A few negatives, also the worker chemistry would have taken this away from being a B+ matchup. Next up we had the WWE Women's Shine Tag Team Championships in the line, and it was about that had decent wrestling, but it didn't have much heat, and it saw the tag team of Fire and Might, which of course is Becky Lynch and Dana Brooke, defeat the team of Billie Kay and Peyton Royce in 9:39 when Dana Brooke defeated Peyton Royce by pinfall with a Samoan driver. It is the second defense of the tag team championships for Fire and Might. So B-72 is okay. Obviously it's just giving Becky something to do while she still carries this injury. I'm hoping, even though she's injured, she's someone who can look to carry Dana Brooke to decent lengths. She can hopefully get her a bit of experience, a bit of overness, and hopefully we can just help her become an all-round better worker. So no skill improvements, few negatives because this was our storytelling match, but a good matchup nonetheless as we continue the progress of Fire and Might. And after the matchup, how can we get more heat onto Fire and Might? They beat down their challengers, Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, beating them down to the mat, just showing how dominant they are in our women's tag team division. So C+66, Dana Brooke was underwhelming, but Becky Lynch was good. And again, you hope some of that overness goes from Becky Lynch and rubs off onto Dana Brooke. Next up, we are debuting more of our tag division on pay-per-view, And in this matchup, it was a decent wrestling match. It didn't have much heat, but it was the new baby faces, the new luchadors around on Raw, Mexicano dos Lucha, which is of course Kalisto and Flamita, and they defeated DIY, Ciampa and Gargano in 10:52, when Flamita defeated Tommaso Ciampa in spectacular fashion with a 450 splash. 4 kind of even wrestlers in terms of overness. The C plus 71 is an okay matchup, we still need to build them both up, but Ciampa improved Rumble skills, and overall a good matchup as these will hopefully improve over time. We then have a hype video debuting on pay-per-view again. One of our new workers that we've got from Lucha Underground, our development territory. Aika Ando is some sort of Japanese women's wrestler. She looks really good in terms of skills. Was fairly over, so I thought, let's give her a chance on the main roster as we try and get away from, again, the continuous diva portrayal of women's wrestlers and make them, properly shown as world-class athletes like they should be. So a C-56. We have a promo from Bayley. She signals tonight she's going to hit this matchup, probably as an underdog, but she wants to give all the, inspire so many children around the world that she can take this chance, she can become the #1 contender for the Women's Championship, and then go on to become Women's Champion yet again. So B plus 84 before we head into that matchup. And it was a C plus 68, and it was about the had decent wrestling, but little heat. And it was Akia Ando who defeated Bayley, Ember Moon, Sasha Banks, Nicole Matthews, and Ashley in 13:43 when she defeated Ashley by pinfall. A good performance from Bayley, a 79, Sasha Banks with a 76, Akio with a 70. But it just shows in this kind of instance, we have to protect Sasha Banks, we have to try and build up as many stars as we can, and as if we can put as many baby faces over, it can then give people like Sasha and Bayley in a year or so's time so many good girls to go over and work with and put on great matchups. So delighted with that. A few negatives for inconsistencies, momentum, and the booking decisions, but a new #1 contender has been crowned in Aika Ando. Next up, we've got a hype video for the feud between Enzo and Big Cass. We all know the story with this feud. Enzo kept being on the receiving end of defeats. Big Cass got frustrated. He thought it was soft and just big booted Enzo all the way back to New York. That matchup between them done okay, and it was a decent matchup. Big Cass with a win over Enzo, 11:56 by pinfall with the East River Crossing. Sometimes in wrestling you've got to be realistic. If Enzo and Cass ever tied up, Big Cass would destroy Enzo. Simple as. So B82, Enzo with a 66, Big Cass with an 83. The soft storyline advances and gains heat, although these will probably break away from each other, and will give Big Cass a push and a big solo run as well. As a heel, Enzo will probably drop down the card, maybe put him in a comedy tag team. We'll see what options we've got for the Certified G and the Bonafide Stud. Next up, backstage and out to the ring comes Adam Cole, one of our young prospects. I know he's really good in real life, but in this, we've just made him a young prospect in comparison to our other wrestlers. And he's just said he's fed up of being overlooked on Monday Night Raw. Constant new people are debuting, and he's not getting an opportunity. So he's calling out any of the newer signings to a one-on-one match tonight. So B-72, good promo from Adam Cole. And his matchup, a decent wrestling, but it didn't have much heat, and as he took on Nino Diabano, who picked up the win in 14:28 with a Luxor dive. B-73, okay with performances from both. I think these are two people who we just need to build up and could be good players in the IC division going forward. Maybe more so upside for Adam Cole with entertainment skills, but a good win for Nino, and just a good opportunity for these two to get a chance on pay-per-view. Next up, we've got a hype video for the implosion of American Alpha. Just Jason Jordan and Chad Gable continually annoying each other until they exploded, and similar to Big Cass and Enzo, these two have just been at it ever since. It's a C plus 66. Their matchup was decent, and it saw Chad Gable defeat Jason Jordan in 11:57 by pinfall. B-77, it's okay for the mid card. As I said, I do want to try and push them both to try in the upper echelon of WWE at one point. Gable with a 68, Jordan with a 74, and again we'll let them branch off into their separate ways. Jordan improving flying, Chad Gable in Rumble. An overall good win for Chad Gable going forward. Next up, backstage, we see Alexa Bliss, who's about to take on the new number one contender at the moment, Crazy Mary Dobson. Obviously, Ikea will challenge one of these in the future. She beats her down backstage and just wants to get any sort of advantage that she can before this big matchup, and that's a B81. And in this, Alexa Bliss turns heel, and the turn went pretty well. I just felt like Crazy Mary's going to be the number one babyface for a while, and then it gives a lot of good heels on that side. We're looking at Alexa, Sasha, Becky. It's really looking good on that side on WWE Raw. And I say it just gives us more fresh matchups on that brand. So a B81 there. The matchup itself, how will it draw? And it was a spectacular B82, and it was a good match. Had a decent reaction from our audience, and it saw Alexa take advantage of that by defeating Crazy Mary Dobson in 12:26 by pinfall. So she makes the 5th defense of the WWE Women's Championship. She's still the champ. A solid B82, good in-ring performances from both. It makes you wonder if they had a feud behind them and they were given more time, could they have crept it into a B+? That'd been interesting to see. Next up, we've got a promo from the Revival, and they're hyping up the match with My Generation. It gets a C+67. This is one of the matches I've curated, and I'm hoping it comes up with a good rating. For the first time ever in WWE history, we're going to have a fatal 4-way tag team steel Hell in a Cell match, or Steel Cell in this. So it's going to be Noam Dar and Pete Dunne defending it against the Revival and 2 other tag teams in the most dangerous structure in WWE. And obviously, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder say they were cut out for these kind of things. No flips, just fists. And then obviously add in the Hell in a Cell structure. They should just dominate. And it's an okay matchup. And About the had decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat because there's no real storyline behind it. My Generation defeated Red Dragon, the Briscoe Brothers, and the Revival in a 4-way tag team Hell in a Cell match in 2058 when Pete Dunne defeated Mark Briscoe by pinfall. My Generation make the 3rd defense of the WWE World Tag Team Championships. A B78 is okay when you look at the in-ring performances of most people. Our tag champs are gaining overness every so often. Everyone else is about that mid-70 level, apart from Scott Dawson for some reason. But he continues to improve. Scott Dawson's strange in the fact his skills seem to get better and better, but his overness just severely lacks at all times, which is certainly strange, but he might be someone that could get a big push in the future, although I do love the idea and the concept of the Revival. I don't really want to break them up. Next up, we've got Stephanie McMahon in the ring. Now, she's not signing Dolph Ziggler to a contract. She's announcing that Dolph Ziggler is going to defend the WWE United States Championship in a 10-man over-the-top rope battle royal. So the odds are stacked against our heel champ, Dolph Ziggler. It was a B+87. The matchup itself was decent. Ziggler did defend the championship and did retain it in the Battle Royal in 13:38. The other members of the Final Four were Samoa Joe, Osamu Nishimura and Naito, with Joe being the final elimination. Joe also got the most eliminations, and Ziggler makes the 5th defense of the championship. Other competitors were Cody Rhodes, the Machine Gun Carl Anderson, Kofi Kingston, Mr. Kennedy, Roderick Strong, and Wade Barrett. So B82, good outing there for the US Championship. Ziggler off his game. Kofi not suited to his gimmick, although it looked like we will be changing up that Kofi Kingston character pretty soon. A few negatives there, a few skill changes, which is good to see. Negative wise, short match length because it was only 13 minutes. A couple of wrestlers fatigued, low morale, declining physical ability. But you need these declining physical ability guys to put people over. Next up, we've got Kevin Owens hyping his final matchup with Seth Rollins. Now as we head into our main matches of this evening. A-Star 100, KO came across well. I just wanted to end this feud like Mother feuds with one big blow-off match at the pay-per-view. So let's see how these two do when they tangle for the last time. They deliver, as always, an exceptional matchup sees Kevin Owens defeat Seth Rollins in 24:19 by pinfall, illegally using the ropes for leverage. So A94 Spectacular, Seth win 94, KO win 95. I just wanted to give them one last match because they continue to deliver and they'll go into fresh feuds, going into Survivor Series and going out of it. So all positive there apart from Corey Graves. So obviously this mod's unrealistic, only joking. Felicia, love your work. But it's just disappointing that is a negative here. But overall, an absolutely stellar match from two top athletes. And after the matchup, Seth is in the ring and Triple H decides, I want a bit of this, I want a shot of this, I want to make myself relevant in the WWE again, because he has been gone for a long time, and he beats Seth Rollins down to the mat. If you haven't been following the series for a while, you know Triple H did leave before WrestleMania. We've re-signed him, and I just feel like we need to use him, capitalise on his overness, and give him a few matches every so often. So A90 for the King of Kings attack on the Architect. Next up, we've got Daniel Bryan, and he says the Miz, this feud has been just unreal. He's dragged Daniel Bryan out of retirement. Daniel Bryan says this feud has gone too long, it's too personal. He just wants to end it by taking the Miz out within the most vicious structure in the WWE, the Hell in the Cell match. So here we go. It is Daniel Bryan, it is the Miz in Hell in a Cell, and that promo gets an A92. Final match between the two, inside Hell in a Cell. How will it draw? A94, and Daniel Bryan in an exceptional matchup defeats The Miz in a steel cell in 26-27. So Bryan gets the last laugh over The Miz. Daniel Bryan will move on to bigger things, although The Miz obviously portrays a great character in this. I feel like we should be hopefully pushing Bryan near the title scene eventually. I do want to get a title run over on Daniel Bryan in the next year or so. So he'll probably move towards that, maybe a number one contendership match going forward. But all good there, 95 from Bryan, 92 from The Miz. Spectacular from a Raw co-main event. The championship match, obviously, still to come. So I've got a promo with John Cena, and John Cena says it's time to get this record. He will do whatever it takes. He will take out Braun Strowman, he'll take out Cesaro, he'll take out Baron Corbin. He just has to be WWE champion. He has to be the GOAT, the greatest of all time. He has to be the very best. He can't stress that enough in this A90 promo. We then get the hype video, playing up obviously the Cesaro's injury, playing up the inclusion of Baron Corbin from attacking Cesaro, and getting involved in this matchup. Of course, all the desperate things that John Cena has tried. And we're ready now for the big matchup. How will it draw? Can we get this into the 90s, please? Give us a good rating. It was an exceptional matchup, and it saw Braun Strowman, Big Braun again, defeat Baron Corbin, John Cena, and Cesaro in 23-26 when Braun Strowman defeated Cesaro by pinfall with a power slam. During the matchup, we had The Undertaker come out and distract Baron Corbin. As I said, I want to keep them feuding for one big matchup at Survivor Series. Braun Strowman makes the 5th defense of the WWE Championship. An A92 Spectacular. Cesaro was slowed down by his injury. Now we've got Baron Corbin sustaining a displaced All-in-Cranon fracture. I don't know technical terms, so I have no idea what that is. Great performances all around. Cena an 88 because of his declining physical ability, but Braun bringing in a 95. When you get Braun Strowman as one of your best performers of the night, if not the best, you know your mod is going well. You've built people well. Corbin 194. No skill improvements. I'm going to finish it with a few negatives, inconsistencies, declining physical ability, working injured, so maybe that could have been pushed to 93, but no complaints. Spectacular. After the match, Braun Strowman celebrates, comes out of it looking excellent. He's still your dominant champion, and we end the show with Undertaker and Baron Corbin just basically having a heated confrontation. Taker is on the ramp, Corbin is chasing towards them, and security swarm basically to ensure that they do not take each other out in this feud. We'll get to it at a personal level going forward. So we end the show there. We drive a 93A, which is spectacular. As I say, I still want to get that 100 match, and I think we will get that eventually again. We've had one so far in the series, which of course was Seth versus Roman. Overall spectacular. Noam Dar was overused because he's still a lower mid-carder, but these kind of instances will get them over, and we increase their popularity in 4 regions. So I think 24 regions. I think we give the pluses to Braun, we give them to Seth, and I think we give them to the Miz. So excellent, they put great performances. A lot of guys did, and Braun's pleased, Seth's pleased, and so is the Miz. So spectacular pay-per-view. I'm very happy with that. A good performance all round from the Raw brand as they continue to excel. And let's have a look. CM Punk is injured. Well, that serves you right for being a dick backstage here. He is out for 3 days. Okay, maybe not too bad then, because he's now at Dragon Gate after leaving us. Hell in a Cell, fantastic reviews. Let's have a look as well. Another injury for Genki there. Baron Corbin is going to be out. How long is he going to be out for? 2 months and a week. Baron Corbin is out at Survivor Series. Shit. We need to try and think of what we can do between him and Taker then. So your Money in the Bank holder is out for 9 weeks. What else we got here? Metallica wins the ICW title. And what is Roman Reigns saying? He loves working the opening match as the atmosphere is so electric. I don't think I've ever had Roman Reigns work the opening match, but it is what it is. Marty Scurll takes his new contract on a 3-year deal worth nearly $12,000. And let's have a look. So Lesnar's back from his suspension. So may I do Taker versus Lesnar? Christopher Gerrard wants a better push. We can look at fixing that. This is actually happening. New Japan Pro Wrestling, have offered a contract to Enzo Amore. TW, ladies and gentlemen, but we'll probably give Enzo a big contract, so I do want to keep him. TNA after him as well. They're also after Aero. I don't know a lot about the guy, but here's a few stats that look okay. Someone we can work with and we can get over, and I feel like he's someone I'd like to give a chance to, another kind of Mexican wrestler. Apart from that, obviously, Naito needs time to heal. Corbin's injury. 4.25 pay-per-view buy rate, 8k for drug tests. John Cena is a big fan. Chad Gable. I'll keep those there anyway so I can fix that after the video. $220 million, that's not too bad, although that will drop. But good position to be in. 100 prestige, 94 momentum, size. Is at a good level, but it's not really about that. It's just about building superstars, fantasy booking, and hopefully continuing to take a new era of WWE going forward. So our next pay-per-view, if we go to our schedule, is going to be No Mercy, the SmackDown pay-per-view next week. And I say we'll have a few tournaments in between No Mercy and Survivor Series. So as always, guys, thank you for watching. Any comments, likes, subscriptions, etc. are all deeply appreciated. Any thoughts on the show, let me know if you felt like someone shouldn't have went over. Interested by any future wrestlers that you can see there that might be getting a push going forward. What do you think of my generation? What do you think of the concept of 4 teams within a steel cell? Have you had any bad injuries yourself? Any plans that you had put forward before one injury curtailed something? Let me know about that as well. Just general thoughts on your own series. Let me know how everybody's getting on, whether it be WWE, TNA, another company, or the Cornellverse as well. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. If you want to buy the game, you can get it on the Grey Dog Software website. It's roughly about £25. There's a free demo as well, where it is a fictional database to start with, but you can import some of the modders' databases into the game, and you can try it with a real world mod. For tips, guides, mods, graphics, you can get all of that on the Grey Dog Software forums. And for fantasy booking, you can see written diaries, more YouTube videos like myself, some other content creators on the Fantasy Booker subreddit, which is on the good old Reddit. As always, guys, thanks for watching, deeply appreciated, and hopefully I'll see you next time for No Mercy. Take it easy, bye bye.